All right, it's the Herd Hierarchy. It's my top 10 teams in the NFL. Let's not waste any time. Here we go.
Herd Hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to college.
Listen, I'm still going to put the Cleveland Browns into it. The Jets game, they were missing too many players. Here's what worries me. Not that they've lost 2 of 3. What worries me is they're the only team with a winning record in the NFL and a negative point differential, and that's something Vegas looks at. That is not a Super Bowl winning team. They're a playoff team, and I do think they'll beat Pittsburgh Sunday and make it in. They have the best, highest-graded offensive line in the NFL. I've told you before, they remind me of the Dallas Cowboys. Dak's rookie year. Great running game, great O-line, talented but limited quarterback, and they get there, win or lose, probably lose their first playoff game, Cleveland at 10. I don't even know what to make of the Chicago Bears. I think it's the nuttiest turnaround I've ever seen. They were awful. They lost 6 straight games, and everybody was getting fired. Now they've scored 30-plus points in 4 straight games. Chicago hasn't done that since the 60s. Matt Nagy is hot. Trubisky, for all his issues, is 25-12 during the Matt Nagy era. They're on a 3-game winning streak. If they can beat the Packers, they're in. I do not think they'll beat the Green Bay Packers, but I like their defensive personnel. Trubisky does run around a lot. They got a little bit of a Baltimore feel to them, that they're a little contrarian to the league. They throw good enough if the running game is moving. And frankly, the coaching staff, Matt Nagy, deserves a ton of credit because I thought this team was dead. There was a shovel, and I was about 2 scoops from buried officially. Now they're at 9. Miami Dolphins. I do worry, not psychologically that Tua was benched, but he's struggling. He's not throwing for a lot of yards. It's a lot of safe stuff, underneath stuff. Doesn't move the chains, a lot of 3-and-outs. They have won 4 of their last 5. The Chiefs is their only loss. Their defense is number 1 in the NFL scoring defense. You know what they feel like? They feel like a playoff team, but they can't win a playoff game. It's very much a Cleveland feel, but I like their coach better than Cleveland's. Not that I don't like Kevin Stefanski, but I think Brian Flores is the next superstar coach in this league, Miami at 8. Baltimore Ravens. I probably have them low. Listen, the running game is rolling. They're good on 3rd down. Lamar's absolutely on fire. If they beat the Bengals, they're in. In the last 4 games, points, rushing, 3rd down, and passer rating, Lamar's top 3. I have the same questions you do. What can they do in the postseason? How will they be trailing against an elite playoff team? I don't know the answers. That's why I put them at 7, but I would not have any interest playing Baltimore if I'm in the AFC. Tampa Bay. I put him at 6 because of Tom Brady. He's been in so many playoff games and so many close games that you give him the edge over Baltimore. Last 3 games, I know it's against junk defenses, but he's absolutely on fire. Here's what worries me, though. This is why I do not think they're a Super Bowl winning team. They're 9-0 against teams that are 500 or worse. They're 1-5 against winning teams. There's a Mike Tyson quality. They beat up on average fighters. But you put them in a Lennox Lewis or an Evander Holyfield, and somebody punches back, and they just don't have a second or a third gear. I will say, Brady and Mike Evans are really aligned right now. Brady is using Gronk more. Ronald Jones, who's explosive, will come back. So I think they're clearly capable of winning a playoff game or 2. Seattle Seahawks. I worry about their offensive line. Can you win a Super Bowl with that offensive line? But since Jamal Adams got healthy and Carlos Dunlap came over, they have solved their pass rush issue, which is simultaneously helped their okay corners. They need to draft a cornerback, and everybody in the building knows it. I got a Super Bowl coach. I got a winning quarterback. I mean, that Rams game is exactly what the Seahawks do. Their offense looks like junk for 3.5 hours. And then Russell end of the half, Russell end of the game. You look up and you're like, okay, you want another division. So their scoring defense since Week 10 has held each of the last 5 opponents under 20 points, and that matters. The Saints, I've got a concern, though. Since coming back from the rib injuries, I speak from experience. I have a rib injury. He's got an 83 passer rating, and Drew Brees is completing 56% of his throws. It worries me. I'd love for him to take a week or 2 off. And they've allowed 30-plus points in back-to-back games because they're not moving the chains, because they're giving the ball back. I do think when healthy, this is the best overall roster in the NFL. I do think they're a tough matchup for Green Bay, but right now, because Drew isn't quite right, I put him at 4. Kansas City. Yes, they've won 7 straight games, all by 6 points. That's not a top team in the NFL. They've got 7 giveaways in the last 3 games. They have the worst red zone defense in the NFL, and Patrick Mahomes struggled in December. 8 touchdowns, 5 turnovers, and a passer rating in the high 80s. Again, as Trent Dilfer said, their floor is really high. They play poorly and win. But at some point, that's in the regular season. You're going to face the best coaches and the best coordinators and the best teams and the best momentum in the next 2 weeks, and they're just not clicking. Green Bay, my only concern is they had the easiest schedule in the NFL. A lot of this feels like fluff, but their scoring offense is profound. Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones, their 2 key weapons, both healthy. The offensive line is good enough. They've won 7 of their last 8 games. Aaron looks comfortable. Matt LaFleur, I think, is improved. I think they're a better second half offense than they were last year, where I thought they were very good on script, very average post-halftime. They feel like the second best team, and they are humming and hitting on all cylinders. Kansas City's not. That's why they're above them. Buffalo, 3rd week in a row. They're a Hail Mary from 9 straight wins, 24-plus points in 8 games. Their defense now is playing well, and that's their question. They've held 4 of their last 5 opponents under 20. Stephon Diggs is essentially uncoverable. He's the hottest receiver in the league, he and Devontae Adams. So they give me everything. They give me clever coaching, playmakers, star quarterback, weaponry on the outside, playing great situational defense. I think Buffalo's the best team in the league, Green Bay second, Kansas City third, and the best roster, in my opinion, New Orleans at 4. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.